انزل.
At the bottom of a deep shaft, under the sands of a sacred burial ground, a team of archaeologists uncovers one of the most elaborate coffins they've ever found.
Wow, this wooden coffin. And I can see remains of colors. I have to ask the workers to take this out to figure out what's in here.
The mummy inside raises even more questions.
I have something strange in this mummy.
At Saqqara in Egypt, archaeologists have discovered a series of megatombs that reveal a 5,000-year-old story.
Saqqara encapsulates the entire history of ancient Egypt from the very, very beginning all the way down to the end of the Roman Empire.
Now they are on a mission to solve its mysteries. Filmed with unprecedented access,
Can't believe my own eyes.
they are discovering a world beyond the pharaohs, as it's never been seen before.
Allah.
What we found in the last 2 years in this area not represent 10% of what we are going to find.
As the team discovers an astonishing new tomb, they find an ancient Egyptian with a tragic tale.
I feel pity for this lady.
And a mysterious treasure made thousands of miles away reveals Egypt's forgotten place on the world's stage.
Really, we love it the most. Congratulations, guys.
We are so happy today.
What can this city of the dead reveal about the land of the living at the peak of ancient Egyptian civilization? At a vast and ancient burial ground south of Cairo, Egyptian archaeologists are excavating a new and astonishing tomb, 30 feet below the ground.
هنا ايه؟ لا سوري. عدي. ده تابوت حكاية ده.
Inside are dozens of wooden coffins stacked on top of each other.
بس هندمة يعني.
تعال امسك بس الكشاف ده.
أكيد تعمل واو. تقدس.
For excavation director Dr. Mustafa Waziri, it's a thrilling find.
We found the lovely surprise. We found a lot of wooden coffins still in perfect condition of preservation.
The new tomb is one of 2 huge burial shafts discovered by Dr. Waziri and his team at the Saqqara necropolis. They lie beneath the ruins of an ancient temple. The first contains the bodies of over 100 people from the 6th and 7th centuries BC, revealing how death became a booming industry at this time. Now, the team wants to find out more about how the people buried here lived their lives.
We're searching for the humans who lived here in ancient times. We need to know more details about them and their lives to complete our history.
يا ريس نزل الاشياء الخشب يا حبيبي هيطلع تابوت.
The archaeologists decide to remove the new coffins. This will ensure these precious artifacts can be properly conserved and will aid vital research.
قولوا بس سنة يا محمد.
ارفع. واحدة. يمسك الحبل على إيده.
The coffins start to emerge into the sunlight for the first time in thousands of years.
صلي صلي فوق فين غريب وهاني.
أيوه.
فين غريب وهاني صلي فوق.
استنى على ماشي سنة.
The team brings the coffins into the tent for inspection. One in particular instantly catches their eyes.
The wood, very good condition. The colors, it's amazing. It looks like it made like yesterday.
Dr. Ashraf Awais is the head of conservation. He thinks this pristine coffin is one of the finest they've ever found.
We are so happy today because we found something perfect, something very unique for us.
Ashraf can tell just by looking at the coffin that this was a very wealthy person.
I can tell you that this kind of wood is local. It's a sycamore.
In ancient Egypt, wood was a precious resource. Some trees made better coffins than others. Carpenters usually made coffins by combining different kinds of wood. But this coffin is constructed exclusively from high-quality sycamore.
To have a coffin made of wood was hugely expensive. We assume that coffins made from a single tree belonged really to the upper elite. We see this very, very rarely.
The family who commissioned this coffin was also rich enough to pay for an artist to paint it. On the back, beautiful artwork depicts the goddess Imentet. She welcomed the recently deceased into the world of the dead. Restoration experts stabilized the fragile pigments with acid-free paper and a special alcohol solution. Now, the team can examine the coffin.
يا أسامة اتفضل.
بص يا أسامة التابوت ده هات تعمل كده. التابوت ده عايزين نفتحه بس هناخد بس مقاسات في الأول كده. كده يا أستاذ أحمد كام؟ 180؟
180 بالظبط.
Site director Dr. Mohammed Youssef first needs to establish the owner's gender. Both men and women shared communal burials throughout Saqqara.
The coffin have no beard, so it should be for a woman.
Hieroglyphs also reveal a female name, Tadit Nebseket.
The name here starts with the sign Ta, Tadi Nebseket. Ta, it is for the feminine, because for masculine, Ba.
More details help narrow down when this woman lived. Inscriptions describe her as the daughter of a man named Samtik. Samtik was the name of 3 pharaohs who ruled Egypt in the 6th and 7th centuries BC, a time Egyptologists call the Late Period. It's possible this woman's father was named after one of these kings. It means she lived over 2,500 years ago.
We are excited so much about this discovery because it's 2,600 years old, very, very nice.
The Late Period saw Egypt prosper after a period of instability. The country flourished as it re-established itself as an international power alongside Babylon and Persia. The woman in the painted coffin probably came from Egypt's greatest city at the time, Memphis. The ancient metropolis sat opposite Saqqara on the east bank of the River Nile.
Memphis was the living administrative capital of the area. Saqqara was the place in which the dead were buried. The relationship between Saqqara and Memphis is basically like a hand and a glove.
At the start of the Late Period, Memphis was a thriving city with a population of up to 2 million. It epitomized Egypt as a country of stability, wealth, and progress. A place where the well-off woman in the coffin would have enjoyed a high degree of personal freedom.
What we have from the records is women could own businesses, they could inherit, they could file for divorce.
In ancient Egypt, women could also expect a burial equal to the men in society.
Men and women got the same elaborate decoration on coffins, they had the same elaborate text.
High-resolution scanning technology captures the detail of this coffin with astonishing 3D accuracy. It shows magical prayers offering up gifts to the gods. Priests supposedly spoke these words during the funeral to help resurrect the dead person in the next life. But something is missing from these inscriptions. Normally, an expensive coffin like this made for a well-off individual, would include the official titles of the deceased, precise inscriptions that describe their roles in life, who they married, and even their job. On this coffin, these are strangely absent.
Maybe the lack of title for this lady, considering that she's still young, not married, have no job because she's underage.
How old was this wealthy woman when she died? And what caused her death? The only way to find out is to open her coffin. Scanning her mummy will reveal a tragic secret.
We can see the third molar still erupting, which means that she was so young.
At Saqqara, archaeologists get ready to open the coffin of an ancient Egyptian woman. The carefully crafted wooden nails are gently extracted. They are still intact after over 2,500 years. It means no one has disturbed this coffin since it was buried.
ماجد كده وراء اسند له استاذ احمد كده معاه يسند انا معاك انا سند جسم التابوت اهو
تمام يا سام.
ارفع يا سام ارفع الاول يا سام
هنا حلو يا سام. عندك ايه؟
طب ارفع كده يا ماجد
ارفع ماجد لفوق
خش
لفوق.
اوه واو.
فيري نايس.
خش يا ماجد.
جميل يا سام.
واحدة.
كونجراتيليشن يا مستر احمد مبروك. مبروك.
The team is finally face to face with a woman who lived 2.5 millennia ago. Her mummy is intact, tightly wrapped in linen, with a beautiful yellow painted face.
We are so happy today because we found a 2,600 years old lady.
We feel that these persons are human, a human being like us. We must respect them, we must respect the mummies, but also we must study to see the situation. Bigger.
Muhammad thinks there is something unusual about the woman's body.
I have something strange in this mummy. Here, we can see here the area of the belly is bigger.
The mummy has a mysterious-looking bump.
So maybe this woman, when she died, she was pregnant. So maybe she wanted to protect her baby and she put her hand around and here should have a baby.
Women who were buried while pregnant are extremely rare. Only a few have ever been found. Giving birth was one of the most dangerous events in the life of an ancient Egyptian woman.
Women squatted on 2 bricks made of mud and were assisted in this process by several other women.
Maternal mortality was high for ancient Egyptians without modern medicine and procedures such as the C-section. Many women turned to the gods for protection. In a nearby shaft, the team finds an amulet of the goddess Tawaret. Tawaret protected women during pregnancy and childbirth. She had the head and body of a pregnant hippopotamus, the back and tail of a crocodile, and the limbs and paws of a lioness. Represented by some of the most ferocious animals in ancient Egypt, she was fearsome to behold.
She was trying to ward off all the evil in this situation that could attack the pregnant woman. She was really a powerful goddess that was hugely important for everyday Egyptians in ancient times.
So was the woman inside the coffin pregnant? Excavation director Dr. Mustafa Waziri will use an X-ray machine to try to find out one way or the other.
We're gonna try to learn more about the mummy of this pretty lady. We are trying to explain what was happened 2,600 years ago. Ready, guys? Ashraf? Yalla, guys.
The first step is to figure out how old she was when she died. Bone specialist Dr. Bassem Gahad takes an X-ray of the woman's face. It's phenomenally well preserved. Evidence her family spared no expense for her mummification.
انزل تحت على كده شوية. نفس يا باشا. The most important thing that we can see the third molar still erupting, which means that she was between 17 and 23 years old. So she was so young.
Next, the team takes an X-ray of her belly.
مهمة بسومة والنبي الحتة برد دي اللي أنا مستعجل إن أنا أعرف إيه قصتها والنبي ها؟
حلو.
أوكي.
في الفراغ بس كده سنة كمان سنة.
بس حلو كده حلو كده.
اديني بس فرصة.
The bump is so large that if this woman was pregnant, the X-rays could show an unborn baby. Instead, they reveal her hands.
It had another explanation.
العلو بتاع الايدين عاملة كده.
This young woman was not pregnant. The bump is formed by her hands, lying twisted across her stomach.
باين جدا.
مسوم.
يا دكتور.
ايه ده؟
ما هو ده الستافنج ده اللي انا بقول لا ده الصباع ده يا دكتور. بص يا دكتور ده الصباع ده. اهو كده. كده.
ايوه ما ده هي عملت كده.
It's an unusual pose. Normally, a mummy's hands were arranged by the sides or across the chest. But this woman's hands appear to be unnaturally contorted. Why?
ممكن يكون عنده مشكلة في الايدين. ممكن لا.
عندها حاجة في الايدين.
The question that I did ask, was she disabled in the hand?
They take more X-rays to search for other physical deformities.
بص الباكبون في little bit move ها؟ ما ايوه دي اللي جت كده. We have seen the backbone. It's not straight.
This condition looks like a sideways curvature of the spine, known as scoliosis. It mostly occurs during the growth spurt just before puberty. Severe scoliosis can reduce the amount of space in the chest and impair the lungs. So this young woman may have had real difficulty breathing.
بس حلو في الاكس-راي.
X-rays reveal even more health problems.
في سنة عرج. يعمل كده.
واحدة الثانية وراها.
We did continue scanning to see the legs. Look at this one, which is very important. We can see that there is one shorter than the other. So, I can see something here.
It seems that there are small broken part of the patella of the bone.
Uneven legs, damaged knees, and a curved spine could be the result of a serious and painful illness like polio.
It explains a lot, I believe, that not because an accident and she start limping later on. No, since she was born. I feel pity for this lady, 18 years old girl.
The X-rays reveal that this wealthy young woman had several incurable health problems that may have been terminal. The team now has a clearer picture of how she died. So, what was her life like? At the time, physical ailments could mean a painful existence, but not one lived in the shadows. The Egyptians often represented conditions such as blindness or deformities in their artwork. From the famous boy pharaoh Tutankhamun, who had a limp, to high-ranking officials like Seneb, who lived around 2500 BC and was a person with dwarfism.
He's represented sitting on a cube, cross-legged. His wife on one side embracing him. He had a loving wife and beautiful children.
The painted mummy's beautiful coffin and immaculate preservation indicates that this woman was well loved by her family.
The nuclear family was very, very important to members of the Egyptian elite. So they would be united in life and united forever after in the great beyond.
The Egyptians also believed that the body would be reborn in perfect health in the afterlife. On the coffin, the team spots a curious feature. One so small, it's not immediately obvious. The coffin has 2 knees carved into the lid. This unusual feature on her human-shaped coffin could be purely decorative to make it more realistic. But did her family hope these fake knees would allow Tadit Nebseket to walk without pain in the next world?
They made coffins to help them for repairs. So everybody represents himself as he wants to be again in the afterlife. So maybe her family spent a lot of money to make a very special coffin for her, to help her for rebirth again with a good health in the afterlife.
Aside from her disability, it's possible that this woman had an otherwise comfortable life and enjoyed all the fine things her affluent family could afford. The people buried alongside her are the elite of ancient Egypt. But what was life like for those without a family fortune? New discoveries reveal the hopes and fears of the ancient Egyptians.
Oh, a great one.
The ancient Egyptians believed that the afterlife would resemble their time on Earth. So they often buried themselves with everyday items for use in the next world. For Egyptologists like Ahmed Zikri, these objects are a fascinating insight into the lives of his forefathers.
Sometimes I feel I'm so lucky to be in this site because every day we found new artifacts, new objects. After 23 years at Saqqara, we are still learning new things about Egyptian civilization.
So far, the team at Saqqara has discovered 2 enormous megatombs from the 6th and 7th centuries BC. One contains the painted coffin of a lady. The other conceals more than 100 coffins. But there are also dozens of other smaller shafts nearby. Together, they reveal how society itself worked. Today, Ahmed is investigating some of the other shafts close to the tomb of the painted lady. Here, he finds personal possessions that wouldn't look out of place in a home today. The team has discovered many of them across the site.
We can see a very nice comb using for hair. It's a very big one. Small alabaster vases, it's used for perfume and oil. And also we have one, it was used for kohl, and then to make the eyeliner in her eyes.
Ahmed thinks these items belong to a woman. But wealthy Egyptian men also used oil to protect their skin and kohl to shade their eyes from the sun. Most of these tombs belong to Egypt's elite citizens. Chief excavator Hamada Mansour investigates those buried in the big shaft.
I love excavations. Every day have another adventure to get something new. Artifacts didn't appear before.
He and his colleagues have spent weeks removing tons of sand and debris. They believe it's the largest communal burial shaft ever found in Egypt. Even its smallest treasures paint a detailed picture of life for Saqqara's most privileged people.
Archaeology is 99% cleaning and 1% discovery. Maybe we have a small artifact in the ground, so I have to make sure by cleaning all this space.
Suddenly, between a coffin and the wall, Hamada spots something unusual.
Oh, a great one. Oh no, what a moment. A box of Ushabtis. A complete box for Ushabtis.
These tiny figurines, called shabtis, are miniature servants. The Egyptians believed they would spring to life and look after the deceased in the next world. Shabtis came in all shapes and sizes and can reveal vital clues about their owners. But the team has never seen such a huge collection of them in one place. Most people were buried with one or two magical servants. To find a complete set is extremely rare. This is a special coffin.
This is the first time to get a Ushabti box.
The team decides to remove the Shabtis and their master for closer investigation. But there's a problem. The coffin is enormous. Site director Dr. Mohammed Youssef comes to oversee the delicate operation.
It takes time to move this wooden box of Ushabtis. The wooden box suffer humidity and very fragile.
So now our strategy to clean this area, and then we will hold the big coffin at here. So my workers will have a great mission now. And then we can get the wooden Ushabti box.
Hamada's team will need to haul the coffin 45 feet up the narrow shaft. One slip knot could end in disaster. As the ancient coffin disappears up to the surface, Hamada and his team breathe a sigh of relief. The Shabtis are now within reach. But after thousands of years underground, the wooden box they lie in is extremely fragile.
ايدك من جوه ايدك من تحت لا معايا
يلا
هذا هو انا تمام تمام بسم الله
يا موسى
يا موسى بس الحمد لله الحمد لله
ركب الطيارة
مسك معسى ايدك من تحت ايدك من تحت ايدك من تحت ثانية وطي يا جدع
The Shabtis are now safe and ready for transport. There are almost 100 of them. Why did this person need so many servants for the next life?
It's fantastic. A wooden box with the Ushabtis, so you can see the ancient Egyptian put it in rows. This is for the first time we see this quantity of Ushabti together in one box in one time.
The ancient Shabtis ascend the shaft, leaving the tomb after more than 2,500 years. Above ground, workers carefully lift the precious cargo from the 45-foot drop. The discovery is unprecedented for head of conservation, Dr. Ashraf Ewais.
ده جميل برصته كده برصته جميل
زي ما هو كده
بصندوق ده في صندوق الخشب بتاعه
الصندوق اللي جوه زي ما هو كده
For me, it is the first time to see a box. For me, near to the coffin.
Finally, the archaeologists can appreciate the statues close up. Each one has its own delicate carved features, lined up neatly in row after row, waiting for their master to summon them in the afterlife.
أنا بس أخلي ماجد حتى بالبامب ينظف التراب فوق كده بدون لمس الخبرات بتاعي حبيت تدرس الوضع بتاعه.
The owner of this box would have been rich. Shabtis were luxury items and expensive despite their small size. The team compares the new find with some of the others discovered at the site.
You can see the other Shabtis. So it's many Shabtis, belongs to many people.
From an inscription, Dr. Mohammed Youssef identifies this Shabti's owner.
So we have here somebody called Bismetic.
This Shabti is particularly fine and made from a type of glazed ceramic material, faience. The enthusiasm for these must-have accessories created a mini industry. It's likely that there were workshops at Saqqara churning them out. These Shabtis also reveal how their owners saw the world around them. That's because the Egyptians developed their concept of life after death from what they experienced every day. People believed the afterlife took the form of a field of reeds. This was an idealized version of the ancient Egyptian landscape, where the crops never failed.
Ancient Egyptians were imagining their afterlife probably the same as their life every day, because this was just a mirror of their existence. So the afterlife was not much different.
Ancient Egypt was far from the desert world we might imagine today. The land along the River Nile was some of the most fertile in the ancient world. Their vision of a rustic afterlife reveals just how central agriculture was in Egyptian society.
Egypt was the breadbasket of the ancient world. And so you have to understand that the economy, the wealth, and the power that Egypt derived came from the natural resources of the agricultural production of the land.
In the world of the living, most of Egypt's population worked on the land, cultivating crops. Those at the top of society had an easier time, organizing the storage of the country's food supply. The fields of the dead also needed cultivating. But in the afterlife, this backbreaking work didn't just fall to the peasants.
All the Shabtis, they are ready in any time if they asked him to do something.
How did the Shabtis help ancient Egypt's elite maintain their social status in the afterlife? In ancient Egypt, working the land in the next world was a responsibility for everyone.
Every Egyptian in the afterlife was compelled to work. Kings, queens, princes, nobles, men, women, all had to perform this task.
Egypt's elite were horrified by the prospect of doing manual labor in the afterlife. So they developed the Shabtis to do their chores for them. They even made the Shabtis' faces look like their own.
The Shabtis were basically field workers. So what we can see is that they were equipped with the tools that were needed for any kind of agricultural work. And this was probably a reflection of the true reality in Egypt.
Prayers detailing the work they were expected to do are inscribed on the Shabtis.
O Shabtis, if one summons Pa'ef Chow Em Awi Imen to do all the work that is done in the hereafter, whenever the request is made, "Here I am," you shall say.
The idea that some people should work in the service of others was central to Egyptian society. Thousands of people from all around the country toiled to build the pyramids for the pharaohs, and domestic help was common. The Shabtis represent the lives of these servants, and also their masters. Those lucky enough to have had workers in their first life believe the next one should be no different.
Can I make a division between the groups?
All the Shabtis, they are ready in any time if they asked him to do something.
The Shabtis had different jobs that they could be called upon to do. From plowing, sowing seeds and tending livestock, to the preparation of food. They even had supervisors to manage them.
It was so distasteful that even the Shawaptis did not want to work. And it's for that reason that the Egyptians made figures of foremen that were placed into the Shawaptis to make sure that Shawapti would go to work.
These ancient artifacts create an even clearer picture of what daily life was like thousands of years ago. But Egyptian society didn't exist in isolation. Another incredible find is about to reveal how it belonged to a vast international network. The team has spotted a new artifact, close to where they found the painted coffin of the woman. Excavation director Dr. Mustafa Waziri is going down the shaft to investigate.
This is my passion. This is my love. It's a feeling that you cannot describe. It's something here. And every time it seems to me that it is the first time. حمادة
على ايدك.
الله يكرمك. شو يا حمادة الله يحمد يسمع.
Clearing the debris reveals the treasure.
زهرة لوتس ايه اللي حاجة زي متل بس في منتهى الجمال.
ايوه خلاص.
خد.
ايوه خلاص. لا شيل الكشاف ده من وشي بقى. هاتوا هنا.
From out of the dust, Dr. Waziri recovers an astonishing statue.
بس بسم الله ما شاء الله. ما اعرفش. الله يبارك لك.
It's an important find.
The most beautiful statue that was ever found here in this area. But we can see that after cleaning, it will be really the masterpiece of this season. It's bronze. It's a metal one. It's very heavy. It's a solid statue. Really, we love it the most. Congratulations, guys. Congratulations, guys. Congratulations. Ashraf.
The statue depicts one of Egypt's oldest gods, Nefertum. His story is that of the dawn of creation. According to Egyptian mythology, water covered the earth at the beginning of the world. A lotus flower was the first living thing to appear from beneath the waves. When the petals opened, Nefertum emerged. This youthful god symbolizes rebirth. A statue of Nefertum would have been a useful good luck charm for an Egyptian hoping to be reborn in the next life. But what does this one reveal about the world it came from?
We have lapis lazuli, the blue one.
This icon reveals just how big the ancient Egyptians' world really was. In the conservation tent, site director Dr. Mohammed Youssef and Egyptologist Ahmed Zikri take a closer look at the ornate statue. The design dates to Egypt's late period, around 650 BC. The figure is made from bronze. It's the kind of item wealthy citizens might have commissioned from the bronze foundries in the nearby city of Memphis. Today, almost nothing remains of this once mighty metropolis. But more than 2,000 years ago, Memphis was at the heart of Egyptian society, one of the greatest cities in the ancient world. In the late period, Memphis grew and flourished. It became a hub for artisans, full of workshops, factories, and warehouses, distributing merchandise throughout Egypt. This cultural renaissance in the land of the living is today most evident in Saqqara, the domain of the dead, through beautiful artifacts like the bronze statue.
This statue is unique because it is the first time for us to find complete statue like this. The statue was in very good condition.
Incredibly, the owner inscribed his name on the base, Bubasteum.
Now we found something also very nice. We found from this text, we know now the statue is made as a gift from this man to the god Nefertum. The man who made this, he was so rich to make something so special.
The statue doesn't just tell us that Bubasteum was a wealthy man. Nefertum's crown reveals how Egyptians like him were able to get hold of exotic, precious stones from thousands of miles away.
We have lapis lazuli, the blue one. We have carnelian, the red one. And we have feldspar, the green one. We found a very nice, beautiful colors.
This statue is an international work of art. The blue lapis lazuli would have come from Afghanistan, over 2,000 miles away. Even the copper needed to create the bronze in this statue might have been imported from Cyprus. The figurine gives us a snapshot of an Egypt that was incredibly well connected to places like Babylon, Judea, and ancient Greece.
The Egyptians were able to develop ocean-going vessels. And these vessels brought goods from the four corners of the world into Egypt and made Egypt prosperous and wealthy as the middlemen of this great trading network.
The wealth from international trade trickled down into the lives of the ancient Egyptian elite. They could afford to purchase painted coffins, pots made from alabaster, statues of bronze, and Shabti servants.
If we could go back in time to ancient Memphis in the late period, it would be a spectacular, bustling, cosmopolitan area. Like being in New York, London, Paris, Rome, we would be seeing temples being built. We would see religious processions happening, climactic, cinematic scope of every aspect of Egyptian life taking place at the very same time in this very, very vibrant and alive place.
The new discoveries at Saqqara reveal how ancient Egyptian society was flourishing more than 2,500 years ago. The ancient artifacts found here create a picture of what daily life would have looked like.
Nobody knew anything about the symmetry of late period before. We are so lucky because we changed the history of Saqqara, and also we changed the archaeological map of Saqqara.
This Egypt was not just a land of pharaohs and high officials. It was a place where a young woman with a disability could live a fulfilling life, where distant lands were within reach of normal people, and where a man dreamed of bringing his servants to tend the fields in a perfect afterlife. This world of the living is now preserved forever in this remarkable city of the dead.